Hello everybody, this is Brett Yanofsky with the Inner Gamer. We are here still at South by Southwest Gaming Expo 2019, and I am here with Sam Eng, the creator of Zarvot, exclusive for the Nintendo Switch. Sam, how are you doing today?
Good. Cubes.
So, we've been a big fan of your game ever since it first came out. You released back in January, is that right?
October.
I'm totally off. Okay, well, it's close enough. I remember seeing about it in January because we were looking for a game. We do our indie game nights. We were looking for a game to feature at one of our indie game nights, and saw your game. Was like, this is a perfect co-op game, or actually a competitive game. But you also have this like very awesome single-player, story-driven, emotionally gripping single-player story about cubes. So tell me a little bit about what the gist of the story is and where the idea came about for Zarvot.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. The single player is about these two cubes, Charcoal and Mustard, who try to make the perfect birthday present for their best friend.
And there's a lot of influences here, places like there's a part where you go into a jar to like transport to another place, and then there's little like shops and stuff that you pop into that feels like a lot about reminiscent of like New York City, for example. And you're from New York, right?
That's where I'm from, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what was it like? Why did you want to infuse New York City into this game?
Well, it's the greatest city in the world, right?
Yeah,
I
guess yeah.
Austin's pretty cool too, I guess. Yeah.
So I'm from Fort Worth, so I'm like, I have no qualms about either place. But I've personally never been in New York City, which is crazy, but I need to go check it out sometime. So, is there anything in this game that was inspired? Like, do you have any like landmarks that this location in the game is from, like your favorite coffee shop, your favorite restaurant, or whatever inside Zarvot?
Actually, so I think chapter 4 is Vassad Park, and that's very heavily based off of Roosevelt Island, which is like this beautiful island between Manhattan and Brooklyn.
Okay.
Where it's great. It's surrounded by water. You can only get there either by the F train or through the gondola. Yeah. So it's actually kind of difficult to get to, but it's like this really scenic little neighborhood that's just its own island in the middle of Brooklyn and Manhattan.
That's amazing. So this game, you brought it out exclusive on the Switch. How's been the reception so far, and why did you choose the Switch as your first console release?
I mean, reception's been pretty good, I think. And honestly, I just really like the Switch. The Switch has been an amazing, amazing console for me to just play games on. Like, I got Breath of the Wild on it, right? And actually, I was going to release Zarvot first on the Wii U way back. So I sort of had a little relationship with Nintendo, and just building on that and just releasing for the Switch was the right choice, honestly.
That's awesome. No, I completely agree, because it's one of those games. I mean, if it came out on like Steam or something like that, there's so many games on there, but when this came out on the Switch, it's just, it made sense. So, you've been developing this game for, you said, or how long did you say it was in development?
I've been making Zarvot for 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And you're mostly a solo developer on this game, right?
That's right, yeah. I mean,
so what, is this your first game? And what's your background before you started making this game? Like, where did you come from? Did you work in another AAA studio? How did this game come about beforehand?
No, I didn't work at any AAA stuff. I went to school for a little while for graphic design, computer science, and math. I never finished. And then I just started working on Zarvot because I was like, I want to make video games. Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense with graphic design and then having the math background. You fuse both sides, because like usually if you're a graphic designer, you're not going to be a developer or somebody that can like program. But like I'm a graphic designer and I do some front end development, and like I was impressed mostly by the design of this game. I mean, you have that shallow depth of field look to it. You have the colors, the lighting, and everything. Talk to me a little bit about, was it a challenge to get the art style down the way you have it, with like, kind of has this realism, it's got the shallow depth of field focus on there. There's a lot of particle effects and things throughout the game, especially when you're shooting each other. What were the challenges you faced when developing that stuff? Yeah,
I mean, that's a good question. Yeah. There's a lot of different things I had to do to get it running really fast. Like, I have it running really well on my MacBook, right? Because it's a pretty powerful computer. But to get it running on a console or a Nintendo Switch, which is very powerful, but also a handheld device, I had to do a lot of different things to optimize the game to have it playable without compromising the visual fidelity that I wanted. So there were a lot of different technical things and optimizations and art style stuff that I had to change for it to run at generally 60 FPS on the Switch.
The one level that blew my mind was the one where it's raining, like rain level constantly. I was like, this looks, I mean, for the Switch on the 720p screen, it was incredible looking. I was like blown away by how well that ran and performed, and just how much it pulled you into that world. It was really awesome. Another thing that you have is multiplayer. You decided, beyond doing single player, to add multiplayer to this game. Was that planned from the beginning, or when did that come about, and why did you choose to add multiplayer components to this?
So I'm not sure you would believe me, but the entire single player was made in the last 5 months.
Oh my God.
Prior to that, it was only multiplayer.
Wow. Okay, let me flip the question around then. Why did you decide to add single player into the game?
I knew I couldn't sell the game unless I had either one of two things. One, online multiplayer, and two, a single player mode. Otherwise, people wouldn't really want to buy the game. It's just hard. It's a hard sell. So I wanted to make a single player game. I just wanted to do that more than I wanted to make an online multiplayer game.
That's really, really cool. I never thought about that. It makes perfect sense now, because what brought me to the game was the personality of the character design and that story. But then I got in there and was shocked by the fact that you had this multiplayer experience that is so much fun. Like, we put it in front of a bunch of people that have never played it before. They couldn't stop playing. They were blown away. So like the fact that you have both of those there, and the fact that it started as multiplayer, is pretty cool. So what's next? Like, what do you have in mind after this game? Do you plan to add more updates to it? Do you have other ideas in mind for other games? Like, what are you looking to for the future?
I always have ideas from new games.
Okay.
I'm only constrained by time and money. But for Zarvot, I'm planning on adding a new free expansion pack called Mustard's Mixtape. So you can kind of have a little bit of idea what's going on there. It's going to have a little more story content and 3 all-new multiplayer maps, a new shield ability. So I'm still going to patch it with at least 1 new expansion pack, and it'll be cool. Fix some bugs as well.
Hey, that always. I mean, for me, I never saw a single bug in the game, which is awesome. So that's a good sign for sure. So where can we find you? Where can we find the game? All that stuff.
So you can find me or my studio at snowhydra.com or zarvot.com, and at snowhydra or at Zarvot on Twitter, Instagram. I'm on everything. You can probably find me anywhere.
Very cool. And he's very communicative with everybody too, because he's been awesome about responding to our stuff. So, especially with us, exactly. That's awesome. Yeah. So everybody, go check out Zarvot. It's fantastic. We're here at South by Southwest Gaming Expo. Make sure you go online, get your Switch out, download this game. It's amazing. We'll see you at the next video.